Imagination and curiosity. Then it would be gold, I think. Because gold, it has this sort of majestic colour to it. Maybe imperial purple in the sense of the Caesars, but something that transcends other more mundane things. Well, it is an art form in some sense. Probably a platinum lighter. Good question. Maybe Alan Turing, in the sense that I think his mathematics was highly original, quite diverse, and his life had a lot of influence, in particular, in terms of the outcome of the Second World War. Unfortunately, Turing did not end up very well in Britain, so perhaps in that sense I would prefer to avoid his fate. Meeting interesting people. Most mathematicians I meet are not particularly narrow-minded as you might think, but they tend to have quite varying concepts and ideas. And I like to meet people from different walks of life, different countries, different cultures. Hate about mathematics. I hate certain aspects of mathematics, but it tends to be my prejudices more than anything else. For example, I don't like very stuffy people or people who have very narrow viewpoints. And so I tend to associate this with certain universities, which I won't mention, or other places. But generally I think this is just my own personal prejudice. A desert island. I wouldn't take any of my own papers. I don't like reading them very much. What would I take on a desert island? Probably a cricket bat. One of my hobbies is cricket, so it would remind me of these things. So probably Mike Field's book on vector spaces and the implicit function theorem, which is republished by Dover. It's an undergraduate book, and it's one which I rather like. It's not a very profound book, it's a nice book, it's designed for undergraduates, and it was recommended to me when I was an undergraduate in my second year, and I've always enjoyed reading it. Bedside book. I tend to read a lot of detective fiction, policiers, but I don't have one at the bedside at the moment. I think I was reading a biography. I had to have lots of biographies as well, and I can't remember what the last one I read was. Possibly it was a biography of, struggling to remember, maybe it was of Churchill. If I wasn't a mathematician, I'd like to have been a librarian. And my aspiration and hope is that when I give up mathematics, I will become a librarian. As a mathematician, I tend to be rather disorganized, and I would like to be in a job where order and organization would teach me something useful. I'd like him to tell me that I got it all right and there were no mistakes in my work, but somehow I don't think that's going to happen. The Beatles, I'm at that age. Cricket, I'm afraid. Well, it has to be roast beef and Yorkshire pudding, I'm afraid. I try to be more international, but I can't manage it, I'm sorry.